All right, let's talk about outliers. So here we will learn this term here, outliers. What is outliers? So outlier are some data that does not belong in the group. Okay, so you can see that there are data that has an extreme value outside the overall data patterns. So you can see that here we have two outliers in the data, right? So we are looking at this, we say, hey, this is one of the outliers, and this is another outlier. Yeah. So the question is, how do we know which data is going to be an outlier? Okay, we don't say that we take the maximum or the minimum values to be outliers. We say we can check for the outliers. So this is called left side outliers, where this is called the right side outliers. So we can calculate each side outliers. Okay, so this is the formula of how you can calculate the outliers. So you want the left side outliers. What you will do is you will say, okay, the left side outliers will equals to Q1 minus 1.5 times IQR. Okay, so this belongs to the left side. So this is the left side calculation. Now, the right side outliers, we will use Q3. So we say it's Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. Okay, so you can see that this will help you find the outliers here. Okay, all right, let's see an example here. So now this is the blood glucose level sample for 30 females. So you have recorded the data. So my first question is find Q1, Q2, and Q3. Okay, so again, we make this CF table. Okay, so you see the bracket here means this row has 2 data, this row has 9 data, right? So, okay, let's make CF and then write the CF value out. 6, 19. Okay, you add 9 to that, 28, then this is 30. Okay, then you find the position of Q1, Q2, and Q3 as usual. We will do this. We will say, okay, let's do all this. Q1, it's 0.25 times the total data set, which is this 30. Okay, so 7.5, we round it up. It's going to be on the 8th term. Okay, then Q2, 0.5, okay, times 30. It's going to be on the 15th term. Okay, then Q3, it's going to be 0.75, okay, times 30. It's going to be giving me this value, 23rd. Okay, now here, this is where I want you to note down, okay? There is something here that I will discuss, but let's just focus for now on these two first. Okay, let's see next. So Q1, the position of Q1, as I have made this table for you, if you recall for the CF, so this is the CF, so this is 6, this is 19, right? So we know that this is the 6th position. We are looking for the 8th position. So this is the 7th, this is the 8th position. So this is our 8th term. We know that Q1 is going to be 3.2. Okay, so let's note that down. All right, next, let's see Q2. So Q2, normally we did this. We said take 30 plus 1 divided by 2, right? To get the position, you will get 15.5 position. So your data should be between the 15th and the 16th. Okay, so I'm going with this method. Okay, I'm taking this out, but somehow in this case, we were lucky that the 15th position and the 16th position have the same value. Okay, so if you add it divided by 2, you still get 3.8. See, so in this case, this is fine. So I'm crossing this method out. Let's go with this method. Okay, this one. Okay, so we got our Q2. This is my Q2. Q2 is that. Okay, moving on, yeah? So for Q3, what do I do? Q3, again, this is on the 23rd, right? We got 22.5 rounded up. So this CF here is 6, 19, 28 See that we are looking for 23rd. So if this is the 19th, right, this will be the 20th, 21st, 22nd, and this is the 23rd. So it's on 4.0. Okay. All right. Now let's check the outliers. Before we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we are going to look for left and right outliers. But first, let's find IQR. So I started by finding the IQR. Q3 minus Q1. Q3 was 4.0, Q1 was 3.2. So my IQR was 0.8. See, this is the value we need in order to carry on. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I will be finding the left outliers, the left side and the right side. But for the left side, I will use the formula of Q1. So keep in mind, it's going to be Q1 minus 1.5 times IQR. This is for the left. Okay, how about for the right? For the right, I will use Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. See, this is how I can check my data. Okay, so the right side, we use this. Okay, I just wrote it down for you. And the left side, we use that. Okay, let's come here and put all the values in. Okay, left outliers. What we do is we say we take the value of Q1, which is 3.2, and IQR is 0.8. Simplify this, you get 2. Anything below 2.0 is an outliers. See? So anything below 2 or less than 2.0 will be outliers. Okay, in this case, do we have left outliers? Let's see. Do we have anything lower than 2.0? No, we have the lowest was 2.2, right? So from here, we say the lowest that we have is 2.2. So we have our answer here. We say we have no left outliers. So on the left side, we have no outliers. Okay, so I agree with this, no left outliers. Okay, moving on. Now let's see the right side outliers. So we are now going to look for the right side outliers. So what I'm going to do is take Q3, which is 4.0, plus 1.5 times 0.8. So the right side outliers is 5.2. Anything beyond, okay, or above 5.2 will be my outliers. So here, any value greater than 5.2 is an outliers. Okay, let's see here. There you go. This is all the 5, right? So anything greater than 5.2, see, I got one value here, 5. So it's going to be, the outliers here is going to be 5.5 is going to be my outliers, okay? So in this case, as I told you, we have 5.5 as our right outliers. So we plot the graph out here. See, the minimum value here, I put here. This is 2.2. Okay, and the maximum value will be this guy. See, this will now be my max, 5.1. Okay, the outlier now is this guy. This is my outliers. What is the meaning of outliers? It means the data does not actually belong in the group. Okay, we don't say that the data is wrongly entered, but we say sometimes we have outliers, mean the data that do not belong in the entire group. So if you cut this data off, then your data might be more reliable. Okay, so again, this you have your Q1 and Q3. So Q1 was how much? 3.2. So if I plug it in here, this is 3.2. See, this is 3.2, and this is 4.0. Q3. Q2 we found just now was how much? 3.8. See that? So they all make sense. What we are concerned right now is that you have to understand that this is your IQR, right? So this is my IQR here. Now my range will be this. This is how I look at my range. From this to that. This should be my, I will call this as my true range. Okay, this is known as true range. Okay,